Very obvious to me that Sassafras Earthpiece has a very oppositional view of the game. An oppositional reading of a text, in this case of a typical sports game or sports movie, is any meaning found in a text that goes against or is different from the preferred reading that Chase has already addressed. This includes meanings that are not obvious or that are unintended. In the viewing of a sports movie, an oppositional reader like Sassafras Earthpiece may see the game. They will take the film as proof that sports are a savage act and should not be participated in. This goes against the preferred reading that sports are a good thing that bring people together. An oppositional reading that Miss Earthpiece found is that harsh and uncaring coaches are necessary to accomplish something difficult. Friends will not help you succeed and are unnecessary to win. Other oppositional readings of sports films include viewing winning as most important goal in life. All other obstacles are faced as necessary in order to win. Unity, teamwork, and community are not important, but are simply necessary evils to win. Everything must be sacrificed in order to win. These are just a few examples of oppositional readings. Two types of oppositional readings are inflection and subversion. Inflection is when slight bending of the preferred reading and is often used to accomplish a specific goal. For example, Miss Earthpiece's reading of the game as brutal and harsh is used to promote the theater company over sports teams. Subversion, the other oppositional method, totally turns preferred reading around and goes against the intended meaning. An example of this would be that when we see all these players, what they had to sacrifice, it is evident that we should not even try as the underdog. Winning is unlikely, hard, and almost unheard of. This goes against the preferred reading that if we only try hard enough, we will succeed. Now that we have seen the preferred and oppositional readings of the text of sports films, let's move on to Ainsley Reinders, who has a Marxist feminist critique. Ainsley?
Very well, thank you, Ross. Let's take a look at my clips where I interview Miss Tiffany and Joan. I'm here in the high school hallway with Tiffany, the captain of the Titans cheer team. Tiffany, identities are meanings attributed to oneself as an object. Do you find your identity being an object? I mean, you are sort of objectifying yourself, prancing around with a pom-pom while the men are out on the field.
Femininity is a sport too, emphasizing my ability to cheer up a crowd with the help of my adorable appearance makes me feel like a woman.
Tiffany, capitalism and sexism are intimately related. Just as the rich oppress the poor, men oppress women into an inferior status. You cheerleaders merely function as good-looking nurturers and motivators to the athletes. Do you ever feel exploited by this?
Never! I love to look pretty on the sidelines and cheer on the men.
Do you ever feel that your strengths are limited by the bourgeois standards of femininity, such as glorified submissiveness and attractive physical appearance?
N-O! No!
Joan, an aspiring female athlete, joins me in the very same hallway to answer some questions. Joan, I understand that you wanted to be a part of the football team, but the guy players wouldn't let you.
Yeah, I'm just as capable as those meatheads. It's sexist against women. And as long as women continue to accept these submissive roles, we're never going to be able to play.
So, what are the consequences that you face for defying the norm?
Ever since I tried out for the guys' team, everyone's attached this stigma to me, and I'm a total outcast. This morning, I went into the girls' bathroom, and all these girls started screaming that I'm this wannabe guy.
Joan, what has this done to your self-esteem?
My core identity is threatened. I feel like just to be myself, I have to rebel against societal norms, and people say that I'm not acting like a real woman.
What do you think could be done so that women may be accepted as more than just passive cheerleaders, but as equal athletes?
People need to stop viewing athletics as men's turf only and accept that women have equal abilities also.
There you have it.
In my conversations with Tiffany and Joan, I can clearly see that patriarchal capitalism is reducing the body, spirit, and abilities of women to mere property value. Tiffany the cheerleader has fallen prey to the bourgeois power of men. She has been oppressed into a submissive, supportive role. She does not find any self-worth apart from her superficial role on the sidelines. On the flip side, Joan desperately wants to be accepted in the men's turf of sports, but her peers don't take her seriously, and they question whether or not she's a real woman. Unfortunately, the ever-popular sports movie perpetuates this role of the female as inferior. Almost always, female characters portray supportive girlfriends, helpful wives, pretty cheerleaders, or sometimes a hopeful athlete rejected by the male team. Rarely are women shown taking charge or participating as equals. As a Marxist feminist, I am very disappointed to see these gender inequalities reinforced by sports films. On behalf of our team of experts, we would like to thank CAS 140 News for allowing us this wonderful opportunity to share our Marxist critiques of sports films.
What an enlightening segment. How did you like it, Polly?
Utterly fascinating, Neil. Well, that just about does it for our program this morning. We hope that you now have a better understanding of the mythology of sports films as well as the Marxist and Marxist feminist arguments of this text.
I know I've learned a lot. I now see how power is maintained and perpetuated in these films.
I particularly enjoyed the segment on preferred and oppositional readings.
What about Marxist feminist?
There are just so many perspectives out there.
And each one gives you a little more insight into the meanings to be found.
Signing off, I am Pollyanna Bransonwood.
And I'm Neil Pert. You stay classy, CAS 140.
Mine went so well.